Alright, so this underpainting is done in acrylic. From where I'm sitting looking on the monitor, except I just closed it. Looks pretty clear. Let's get a few things rearranged here. Now we're going to try a bunch of different stuff today. I'm going to try a bunch of different stuff today. But before we do, we got to finish setting up. And I think we're going to do a little bit of acrylic more, a little bit more acrylic work before we start on the... Alright, so it's been almost a week since I painted down here. I've been busy. I think that paint's pretty good. So I'm going to peel some of this plastic away. So I just use these sandwich bags over the top of the plate over it and just kind of crush them down, and keeps the paint pretty good. Also sometimes stick them in the refrigerator. That works pretty good too. Yeah, it looks... Well, I would like how thick that is. Alright, let's put that down. I think that'll be for what I want to take off there, I think. So I'm using a disposable palette. And like I say, I've got to do a little bit of acrylic work on this first, maybe. I'm trying to decide what might be the best way to do that. Alright, so hang on just a second. Thinking. Like I say, this is going to be, I've got a few things I want to try today, so this is one of them. So acrylic-wise, using Grumbacher titanium white. Can you guys see that with all that bright light? And color thick body acrylic. Pretty good stuff. My buddy Jose bought me that for Christmas year before last, so I've been using these all along. Alright, let's put a little bit of that on there. Just want to try this out. I want to see, what I'm looking to see is, can I straighten these buildings up a little bit before I get into doing oils. So I'm just gonna paint right over this tape and see if that'll... My hand is not steady. I have a handicap, so our hands are not very steady sometimes. So you just have to come up with tools to make it work for you the way you want it to work. I use this kind of same tape technique in some of the swing paintings that if you've looked in my gallery, you'll see some paintings with country swings. If you're there, say hello, because I don't know if I'll be able to see messages if somebody... Now my theory is, when I straighten these brown lines, I won't have to straighten the white ones. That's a theory. So, we'll see how that goes. So what are we going to do with the rest of the painting? Talk about that. Of course, everything's going to get oils over the top of it. So the okay, so there's an interesting part I haven't run into at this point. I'm not using a lot of paint here. And I'm using no medium at all. Just painting it on there. Alright, so let's see. Let's see how we're doing here. Use this tape over again. Now in the original comp position, we pushed that building into the background on purpose, so we may just see if we want to leave it there before we all said and done. But I'm not too worried about these cities on the side, so I can. And the reason I say that is because they'll probably be covered up with mountains. And we are going to have some stuff across the plains here. They're not really plains. There's a lot of stuff that's going on here. So, all right. Well, let's see. I might want to put a little bit down that side. Like I said, we're not using a lot of paint here. We're just kind of making a few shadows here and there. All right, explain that out. And I think that'll be enough of that, because I kind of want to keep it I'm going to leave it, the different things that I've tried, kind of standing on their own, so that I can, when the painting's done, I can have a feel for how it comes out. All right, so let's don't dispose of it, Matt. Let's keep that out. Let's peel this off. Okay, that allowed me to straighten the buildings a little bit. Not too much about straightening the white part, because it's shadow anyway. Or I mean highlight anyway. So all right. And I'm going to use a heat gun on this so we can kind of speed up the drying process. I really want that to be dry, because the next part is we're going to put some liquid clear on here and start building up our planets. So, all right. This is liquid clear. I make this myself. You can buy some of it from thebobross.com. I guess you can buy it someplace else too, I don't know. So those are the only two things I've ever done for that part. Alright, so let's rub some in here. And we're definitely going to put on more than what we need. We'll take some of it back. You don't opaque, this is medium. Clear medium that allows the paint to be blended. We're going to have quite a bit of blending going on here. So I got this big bright planet right here in the foreground. Push it on back in the background a little bit more. Now, so more or less insinuating we've put the sun or any kind of light over on this side of the painting. So you got a little bit brighter on this side, a little on this side, some on this side, and then the buildings themselves. Now where we're going to go with it after that, I don't know. I just know these people live on this distant planet. Just picking up some excess and leaving it down here at the bottom. Alright, clean the brush. Alright, so here's the original sketch. That I did, and really all I use that for is to kind of get an idea, get an impression in my head about what I want to do, and then see what comes from there. Here's another one, so it's just kind of refined it. As you can see, there's only, in both of these drawings, there's only one bubble in Bubble City, and in this one there's three. This one's the farthest away, this one's the second farthest, this is the closest. Alright, so let's deal with the cosmos first. I'm thinking, oops, hang on. If you watch this painting will be for sale if you decide you want it. I don't have room to keep everything I paint, unfortunately. Well, I don't know if it's unfortunately or not. My wife might say it's unfortunately, I don't know. We've done a pretty good job of selling quite a few, though. So, all right, let's start off. I think I'll start off with this filbert and some Indian yellow. So you won't be able to see this too much, but I'm going to kind of freehand it in here. So I'm just kind of making it work right here. I don't want to cover the scalp completely. Let's put a little bit of just a little bit of alizarin crimson up in that sky. And we'll just won't even clean the brush. We'll just kind of scrub some in here. And then let's put, I was going to put some blue, but I think there's probably like going to be enough blue. So let's put, if I can find it quickly, even if I can't find it quickly, it'll take me time to find it. Let's put some of this dioxazine purple up there in the sky. Just a tad, just a tad. So I think it's a darker color, so I think I will clean this brush this time. Just because I'm not sure how purple and yellow might go together there. So let's put some of that like up here. Some down here maybe. Alright. That's good. Alright, now we're going to switch to the fan brush. So we're going to need some titanium white for this part. Don't squeeze out too much, just enough to get us going. We'll have to clean our brush several times as we do this. Also, I'm going to need to, I think I'll use a small fan brush for this. Alright, so we're just going to fill this fan brush up full of paint. Like this, right? And we're just going to mush it in. Let's put one more splash in here. Alright. Looks kind of like a mess, don't it? Maybe. I don't know. We're just making this up as we go. Let's clean the fan brush out real good. Hang on. I got that paint all up in this brush. Alright. Now I'm going to switch to I think I'll switch to this 1-inch brush. I think we'll start right here. And we'll just start blending it. I'll take it this way and that way. We'll put a pretty good bit of pressure on this. It's okay if we get a little bit colored up on our planet. Not too bad. These guys are more than planetary nebula. Alright. Clean brush. Push all that back. Let's feather this out just a little bit right there on that planet. Let's feather it back this way on behind the planet. Let's straighten out these brush strokes. Alright. Now just 3 hairs and some air and kind of take the brush strokes out. Alright. Let me back up and take a look at that. This painting's already given me an idea for my next painting. Alright, so let's back up here. Alright. It's not so bad. All right. Before we put the start painting in the planets, let's get some amazing white out here. Guess I'm just kind of Sunny. I was just about to say, hey, I'm doing this all for myself, I guess. Happy Sunday, Sunny. All right, so this amazing white's a little bit dry. Let's spruce it up some. Alright, let's get enough. Alright, so let's, I'm going to put some stars up here. Not a whole lot of stars. There could be more stars down this way. Alright, so let's take like a number 6 fan brush. I'm just kind of dip it in here. Now the reason I'm doing this before I do the planets and stuff is because then I don't have to paint over them, so. All right. So now I got some stars. You're at work? Well, thank you for tuning in when you're at work. Hope it makes your work day go faster. All right, hang on a second. Gotta get my baby wipes over here. Alright, so that's kind of okay. I like that. Let's start with the orange planet. What do you say? Let's start with the orange planet. So I'm going to try a few different things with this thing. I've got some vermilion and some white on there. This stuff here is called Venetian Red. I want to mix that with, I think I'm going to put that on with some Cad Orange. And then maybe a little bit of bright red. Why not? Right? All right. Okay. And like I say, all this stuff is just new stuff I'm trying here today. I didn't want to paint the same old kind of space scenes I've been painting. Nothing wrong with those, but all right. So I'm just going to I'm going to try to mix this on the brush. See how that works. All right. Put some Venetian red on this side. And we'll put some red on this side. All right, let's see what we get here. All right, so now this planet's rotating, so we kind of want to rotate from the edge, right? So that Venetian red is a bit thinner than this orange, than the Cad Orange. So let's get right up on the edge here. Kind of like that. I think I'll leave that. Let's put like a good bit of red right here. Maybe. I don't think I really want to mess with it too much. I kind of like the way it came out. All right. Now, let's go back and just touch up just a little bit of white. Put a few clouds in here like this. What do you think, Sonny? All right. Next planet. We're going to darken this planet first. We're going to darken, you know what? I'll tell you what. Let's do this. I want to do that. I'll tell you what. Let's do the planet. Let's do this other planet first. And then we'll come back and mess with that one some more. All right. So let me use a smaller brush. And I'm going to take some of this dark I got left over from my painting last week. It's a whole mixture of all kinds of weird stuff. And let's kind of just, I probably should, yeah, I could do it with this. I'm going to change this one's rotation. A little bit of a clock there for a second. I think in order to get that right way I'm going to want it, I'm going to have to turn it because I can't. Here we go. Too much. That's a lot too much. All right, get off of there. using a fan brush just to turn the edges of this corner. Alright, now, I can't remember exactly what I mixed with this when I made it a week ago, but we're gonna start off with just some titanium white and see how that helps. Hey Logan, how are you? We're just trying a bunch of new stuff out here. All right, so we got that dark color on. Now let's come right back with this. Let's see what this does for us. How are you guys? How you doing, Logan? How are you guys doing today? All right, so let's just now I want to. We'll see if this works or not. I have a smaller fan brush. All right, because I'm going to go to even smaller fan brush. Because I want to create the shadow. I'm going to have to kind of, let me see if I can scribe it a little bit. I want it to be sort of, like that. There we go. Space Lab 2021. Yeah, maybe. Could be. Alright, so clean this brush out really good. I'm just going to take a little bit of titanium white right in here. Just fluff that up a little bit like that. All right. Okay. Let's do planets. So let's go. What do I have here? No, I don't use that. Let's try some of this. Let's see what we get here with this. This is not sap green. This is Viridian green. And I think, in order to do this, I think I'll turn this sideways like this. I don't want to block you guys from seeing. I'm just trying to get my brush down on the paper. I think we'll just take a little bit of white and a little bit of the yellow, a little bit of this Indian yellow. And I think we'll play it into this green and see how that turns out. I think right up here on the top we're gonna have like a little polar ice cap, so we can throw that in there. All right, and then I think I'll start this way. Kind of going this way. I'm kind of putting a highlight on this side of the planet. And then I think we'll mix a little bit of that dark with it. Just a little bit. I'm kind of, it's not dark enough. Need to be a little bit darker. I don't know if that's dark enough either. Let's try it. Yeah, I think that'll be okay. Just a little bit more. Let's do both sides of the brush that way. All right, so we want to cast a shadow, and it'll give it a more of a 3D look. All right, guys, what do you think? All right, then we're going to go back to the fan brush, but for something totally different, we're going to come back, and we're going to try to soften some of this up. So let's just kind of barely touching, barely touching. Okay, let's leave those guys alone for a little bit. You can let that settle in. Step back and take a look. Take a drink of lemonade. Doo-doo-doo. Okay. Set some of this stuff a little bit farther back. All right. These are going to be the trickiest part, of course, because there's a bunch of detail in there. So I was thinking about mixing this up with phthalo blue, but I think I might still do that. We'll see. So we want these guys to have a little bit of a bluish tint and a little bit of a white tint. A little bit of the white to create like some glare, like from space. But at the same time, we want to have some blue to give it, sort of a 3D. So let's start off over here. Some Arctic blue, some Grumbacher paint. He's barely putting this on. How's that look? What do you guys think? I kind of like the way it looks. I might need a little phthalo blue in there though to darken it down. I think let's do that. Where are you, phthalo blue? We could mix up some more. That's okay. We'll just use phthalo blue. All right, here's some phthalo blue. Let's get a little bit of this. Now we're not gonna add any white to this phthalo blue. We're just gonna mix a little bit of it on the edges of the brush with this ice blue. Let's see what that does for us. I guess Sonny had to go back to work. That's what I'm looking for right there. Okay, that was unintentional, but that's okay. That looks pretty. I like that, I think. We'll get some in there, right? Let's put a little bit of this darker color down inside. All right, let's turn this. Oops, that's close. All right, let's turn this a little bit. We're gonna want this side to be more dark to contrast with that bubble, like this. All right, now we want to take that. Let's clean this brush out a little bit. I probably should have just wiped it out. If you're just joining, welcome to our little space adventure. We're trying a bunch of new techniques today on these Starscape. Trying new things. This underpainting is done in acrylics. And now we're adding the oils to it. The acrylics are completely dried, of course. All right. Now. All right. So let's switch to a flat. Let's see if I got a flat that'll fit that size. Maybe. All right. So what are we going to do with this? Let's try this Venetian red. See if this will work. I don't know if it'll work or not. We'll just have to see. It's a pretty close color. I think I'll stick with that. Reload the brush. I'm not trying to make these buildings perfect. All right. Let's finish up here. Where did we go? Where did we stop? Probably could have chosen to do this the other way, done the white part first, but I think I'd choose the darker first this time. This is a nice, kind of a nice color. They call this red, but it doesn't look very red to me. But And over here we're not going to have very many highlights, but alright. Let's clean the brush. Now, originally it had white highlights on there, and I think that, well, that's okay. I think we won't, that was not, I don't think that's what I want to do. I think what I'll do is, if you join, say hello, so I can say hello back. Alright, so let's put, let's try this. What happens if we get this and we mix this with some white? Let's try this. Alright, so we're trying a bunch of different things today, a bunch of different techniques. Yeah, I kind of like that. Alright, so we're just kind of sketching these highlights on. Add a little bit more. You know, I think I'll also add a little bit of this blue this time. As long as I don't generate purple. Let's try that. Let's try that. There we go. So I'm using a flat brush, in case I didn't say that. I can't remember what I said and what I didn't say. Alright. We're not too worried about straightening these out across the bottom because we're going to paint rocks across the stuff across the bottom. Maybe some craters. That'd be good. Put some craters in there too. Just a little Venetian red, a little bit of blue, a little bit of white, maybe. We're going to go a little darker for some of these highlights now. Don't want quite too much highlight in there. Alright, and then over here we just got like a couple. Alright. Everybody's so quiet. What's the deal? Alright. Now I'm going to mess up the foreground. So let's do that. I think in order to do that, I will use a 1-inch brush. And what do I want to do? I think I will use some Payne's Gray, as long as I can find it over here somewhere. Let's see, this is ultramarine blue, purple, cobalt hue. No. Alright. Where did it go? I will find it. I will find you. If I can't, then I'll just have to mix them up. Alright, so hang on a second. I know I got some here somewhere. I don't need the green earth hue. Let's see. Well, I don't really want that color. I don't want. Well, let me see. Hold on, guys. Alright, that's black and this white. That's black and this blue. This purple. This blue. Manganese. Burnt sienna. I could use that, I guess, if I wanted to. There it is. Payne's Gray. Alright. So let's mix up some Payne's Gray. And we're going to mix that with a little bit of this ice blue and see how that goes. Payne's Gray is kind of dark right out of the tube, but we'll mix it up with some of this blue. We'll mix it up on the brush, I think, and we'll see how that does. So let's do it. Well, I think before I do that, let's paint some. Let's put a couple mountains in here, or at least a little bit of spacescape, shall we? And Ben, you just painted right over something you just painted. Yeah, that's okay. I know it's back there. I didn't. No civilians were killed in the painting of this picture. They're right on the edge there. We'll let some of them get away. All right. Yeah. I need a small filbert. So we're going to continue on with this, but we're going to kind of roughen up this surface here. And I think right about here, we'll put another mountain. And we need to highlight that, because if we don't, it's not going to stand out very good, but we'll fix it in a second. I need some more Payne's Gray. I hope I can find it faster than I did the last time. All right. Now I'm thinking maybe let's put another mountain like off center a little bit, like maybe right here. These mountains are jagged. They don't have any corrosion. Corrosion. Don't have any of that either. They don't have any erosion working on. All right, so let's see. I need some more Payne's Gray. I'm going to come back and smooth this paint out in just a second. But in the meantime, I need some more Payne's Gray. Now I'm hoping that by adding these great big mountains in here, that it looks more. This bowl really looks big. All right. Let's put another peak in here, like. Oh, we just wiped out half the city. All right, let's clean up some stuff now. Those mountains will push that back some. I think we'll use some. I think these mountains. We're just thinning the paint down a little bit. let's pause long enough to clean a few things up here. I'm just going to use a fan brush here and just lay out this landscape. Get the excess paint off. The thinner you keep the paint, the easier it'll stick. Let's mix up something to highlight that with. It's so quiet on the stream today. Nobody's talking. So let's mix up some highlight colors. I think we'll use a couple different colors. Let's start off with this. Let's mix up some cat orange. We're going to mix that up with the same stuff that we mixed up the building colors with. So let's mix up some yellow and some orange. That orange is really powerful. So let's add a little bit of titanium white, just a little bit. I think we might need, well, I don't know. All right, let's leave that kind of marbled. We'll see what we get. Thinking right about here, it's going to start getting some reflection over there. We're just using a small end of the knife right here. I missed both times. Try it again. I don't think we're going to highlight that too much more. All right, let's bring another color into this. Let's add some, a little bit of dark sienna to this mix. Let's see what that does for us. I don't know if I got enough though. Let's see. We'll find out here in a second. That doesn't look dark enough. So how did these guys come to get parked out here on this planet? I don't know. Let's think about that while we're doing this. Maybe Logan's right. Maybe like 23rd century. They needed someplace to go. A little cleaner. A little less a little less controlled. Who knows? All right. Yes. Not bad for using my wrong hand. All right, let's put a little bit more right here. Okay. Okay. All right, so back to Payne's Gray. Let's put some foreground in here, and let's put some so this is ice blue, Payne's Gray. A lot of these, same brush. So we're applying the dark and the highlight at the same time. And I'm going to soften this down some. All right, let's do this a little bit more. Let's come this way. There's a little bit of a trick to putting your highlight and your darker color down with a 1-inch brush. That trick is to make sure that the highlight is on the trailing edge. I'm playing some landscape here. Well, we could call that done, but we're not going to. I mean, after all, we got planets and nebulas and stars and human habitation domes. So let's do a little bit more. Let's try something. Let's see if we can put some craters in here. So let's take maybe, I think I'll use a small filbert. We'll try that. All right. So we're going to stick with the same colors. We're going to stick with this ice blue. No, that's not the right color. All right, hang on a second. We'll stick with this, I'm sorry, it's aqua blue. We're going to start with this blue. And we're going to stick with, I think we'll stick with the same colors, maybe. I don't know, we might need to add a little bit of white. Let's see. Let's start off though, let's put a crater somewhere. Let's put a big one like right here. So I want it to kind of be oval. I don't know if that's dark enough though. I don't think that's dark enough. So that's all right. Let's lay it out. So we'll kind of put the walls on it like this. And then save that. All right, I think that'll look good if we get it, if we do it right. So let's try. I don't want to try that. Let's get my other filbert. Maybe I could use a flat. I think I'll use a flat. All right, so I'm going to take this ice blue, and I'm going to run it right around the edge of this circle. it's looking for me. Let's bring these edges down just a little bit. So we're actually lightening something I said was too dark, but let's just continue to do that just a little bit. That looks not so bad. All right, let's put a couple smaller ones. Let's put like, put one right in the middle of this white spot. And I think I'll pick up a little bit more of this dark that I had left over from my last painting. And we'll put some of that in there too, just to make it darker. There we go. Let's put that one there. Let's put one back here. And maybe a big one right here. Clean that. Well, I guess I may as well clean it now. Wow, everybody wanted to see this video, but nobody came up for it, except Logan. Logan showed up for it. All right, so let's paint. Now, I'm going to have to make this a little bit darker because we got a white spot right there, right? So let's just kind of... Now I think right around the top edge, let's tell you what, let's pick up some of this dark. I'm just sharpening this edge over here. That'll set the foreground for this one. Now we need to set. All right, let's continue on with that. Sorry guys, I'm talking to myself. I'm trying to figure this out as I go. Time to drop my painting. All right. When you hand back handicapped, you learn to deal with it. All right. So there we go. All right. Now let's do a little bit more with those. Let me clean this brush though. Sonny's back. Oh, I think even Logan left. All right, that must be boring, Sonny. I've run everybody off. Everybody off. Alright. So let's get these. Now you can definitely overwork your craters, I think. They're fairly easy to overwork. Now, what I'm wondering is, let's take one of them, and we're going to soften it a little bit and see. You never left? Okay. You're just hiding out. Alright, so let's see. Let's take my... Hey, here's a brush. Look, here's a brush I haven't gotten dirty. Let's get it dirty. Alright, so let's see. I want that side to be darker still, so we're going to set this up a little bit higher and hope we don't knock it off. Let's just kind of lightly brush these into the landscape. Alright, so what did I learn from that part? Here's what I learned. At least I think this is what I learned. I think what would push these back a little bit farther is if let's just use some linseed oil. And not a lot. Let's get just a tad. Oh, I need a small brush. Where are they? Alright, here's one. So let's just put a little bit of linseed oil here on the palette. Alright, that ought to do it. And let's put the cap back on before I spill it. I'm the master of spilling stuff. Alright, so and let's just take a little bit of blue. And with that too. A little bit of blue, a little bit of white, and let's just kind of highlight these on the top. Like that. Now I messed up the black. Alright. Alright. That might be getting close. Let me get back and look. After I clean out my brushes. Let me see what I got. Alright, this side over here. Let me fill it. This side over here is messed up. So let's just kind of, yeah. Tell you what, first of all, let's brush it all back in like that. That probably looks a lot better. Here we go. This one looks okay. Let me take a better look. Alright, I'm going to fiddle with it some more. Alright, so what don't I like about it? I think this one, let me turn this thing. This guy over here, the highlights need to move up because it needs to be more oval than it is round. So like maybe starting like right about here. Let's see if we can do it this way. Alright, I want to cut off like this much of it. I think if I'm making it more oval, it'll look more round. If it makes any sense. It'll get right there. Yeah, okay, that's working. I think I see what's going on. Alright, so let's come back in like right here. Across the middle. Let's make that a little ovalier. Ovalier! It's ovalier. Alright, there we go. Now. Alright, I like that better. What do you think, Sonny? Alright. Let's smooth it out again. Let's put some rocks in. What you say? What you say? Let's put those in with the filbert, since we're playing with the filbert anyway. Let's have this orange. Orange. It's not orange, it's Venetian red, but okay. And maybe like that. I don't know about that. Nope. Okay, I'm not getting enough dark color out of that. So I don't know if you can see that, the glare on the thing. Alright, and let's put some final landscaping down for this. And I think just kind of keep adding dark, light over dark, dark over light. Like that. Let's put just a little bit of. Oh, wait a second. See what you guys can see. I'm gonna see that better. All right. Well, my cat's calling. I'm down here. I said I'm down here. Hello. All right. I think that's going to be a wrap. Let me sign it. I always forget to sign it. And then 3 days later, I gotta wait for it to dry again because I'm gonna sign it. I think we'll call that a day. You like it? I kind of like it. It came out pretty good. Learned some things. Learned a lot, as a matter of fact. All right. Well, I hope you guys are having a good Sunday, even if you are working. That landscape looks pretty rugged. I'm glad I ain't hiking across it. And I think, you know what though? I'm still looking at this thing over here. I think, as close as we are to that thing, we still need to change that. So let's change it some more. Let's change it some more. I'm going to cut this off some more. I want to cut it off like right here. Make it taller like that. I think I can make it taller by closing in those gates. Closing in that gap. Don't you dare fall down. By making it narrower, see, it changes our perspective. There. It can be jagged. It don't have to be straight. There we go. Oh, I like that better. You like that better? I'll wait till you can see it. Let me see. Where the heck is it on the screen? I can't see. There. Oh, okay. There you go. It changes the perspective a good bit. All right. Well, all right. In the words of Bob, I'm going to stop piddling with it. Bye, Sonny. Thanks for tuning in.